What's up guys, it's Crash, and the Unreal 5 Tarkov competitor Gray Zone Warfare dropped a brand new trailer today, and I want to talk about it. There's some really interesting details in here they might have missed that I want to go through with you. So if you guys are interested in this game and what it could be, definitely stay tuned to the video because we're going to pick some things apart that I saw that I thought were really cool. And I want to send a special thank you to Rick and Madfinger Games for getting me a copy of this trailer a little bit early so I could go through and prepare this video for you guys so we can get the information to you guys straight away. I'm going to try not to overhype it. I'm going to try not to oversell it because it is incredibly early. This still is pre-alpha gameplay footage, but man, if you can't say anything else about it so far, it looks really pretty. If you guys don't know what this game is, I made a video about it when they released their first trailer a few weeks ago, and it is supposed to be like a pvpve, so they're kind of focusing on the survival aspects, the looting aspects of this massive map that takes place in kind of a fictional world based off the real world locations of Laos. And they are really pushing the realism and immersion aspects when it comes to this game, and you can tell by the graphics that they're on the right path with that. The game is supposed to have you traversing around this map with a squad or by yourself against a lot of different enemy AI factions, completing a lot of different missions, looking for loot. And they're really going all in on weapon customization, ballistics, and everything being as real life as absolutely possible, kind of going in the vein of Tarkov. But with what they're able to do with Unreal Engine 5, I think that's what really makes this PvEVP looter shooter kind of exciting, because it's not going to be coming out for console right away. And if you guys haven't heard of Madfinger Games, they're a little bit larger studio. They're not a small super indie studio or anything. They've had some successful titles over on the mobile side, so they have kind of the funds and the resources to do this, it appears. And this could be the first time that we're seeing the full potential of the Unreal 5 engine. And let me show you what I'm talking about. And I'm so impatient, I want to show you guys the coolest part first. So one of the things I saw right away was how the vegetation is actually interacting with the soldier moving. And then to take it even a step further, since I can't wait to show you guys this, you can actually see the leaves moving when the player is shooting. You can see them reacting to the muzzle blast of the firearm. And I don't think I've ever seen that in a game yet. So I see all these demos and things for Unreal Engine 5, but this is kind of the first time that we're actually seeing it. The lighting looks awesome, the vegetation looks awesome, and you guys can see that it's actually interacting with a soldier, and also the muzzle flash and the muzzle gases of a firearm coming out of a compensator, which is really cool. And sometimes those details don't sound that amazing on the surface, but little things add up, and that can really help with the immersion. Some of the things that we saw in this trailer was also the helicopters moving around. In the first one, I initially thought maybe you could drive them. That doesn't appear to be the case. It sounds like you are able to take those as kind of a little bit of a fast travel in how you extract. And that's the other thing that is really cool. When you extract back to your base, you're not leaving it and going back to a menu, you're going back, you know, out of it, but that server is going to continue to run. They're talking about persistent worlds and servers that come in, or servers that keep going even when you come in, and when you leave they keep going. And so that means it's going to be a lot more dynamic than some of the more predictable looter and extraction shooters that kind of reset every time the loot pool resets. This is going to be, you know, anything can happen, anything can come from anywhere, because the world keeps on going even when you're not there. What's also really cool about this, I saw that they've taken some feedback from the first trailer. So if you have a studio that hasn't even put an alpha yet, and they're taking feedback from potential players, no one can even play this yet, and they fixed some of the sites, the collimation sites, they've added some iron sight backups to them as well, and they've already worked on some of the jankiness of how the sights look. The sniper scopes look a little bit better. They're already working on that. They're already listening to their community, which is really cool and exciting. They're going to be talking about story-driven stuff in the future. Everyone voted on story, and my reasoning for that was I voted for the story on Twitter. I wanted to know how progression is going to go, you know, how the end game is going to be, because I think that's where a lot of extraction shooters can fall short. However, they're focused on that, then they're going to do some stuff with the end game as well, but they really want to make the game itself deep and an open sandbox where you can literally go and do anything. And that there's PvP, you could come across somebody at any time. The AI factions are there, and they really want to make this like an open world type game where it's really kind of a free-for-all and not necessarily a linear story. Some of the things that I think we didn't see in the first one too are some of the AI elements. Like you can see when they go to jump in the copter, this looks really clean. I like this a lot, as well as some interesting other things. When they check the mag, there's a little status symbol in the right where you can see that. So far the UI looks pretty minimalistic, but it gives you the information that you need. So I like that so far, because there's no HUD if the gameplay footage is accurate. I'm sure you can at least turn that off, but I like some some stuff popping up once in a while, because in game you can't really look at a mag and tell how much it is. So I really like that when you're talking about checking the chamber. You can also see they put out some new images of the AI faction, so you guys can see what they're going to look like. It doesn't look like just a standard NPC. They have a lot of different looks to them. They have a lot of different clothes and probably a lot of different loot that you guys can take out and go ahead and get those. Speaking of loot, you can also see some newer images of the looting screen, which looks really clean, really good. I definitely like that as well. One of the things I noticed, and I don't know if this was in the first trailer or not, it's really late and I'm making this video, so I'm not going to go back and look. But one of the things that I did notice I really liked in this trailer that was cool too was the mantling animations, which if you guys know, I don't know, I shouldn't compare it too much to Tarkov, but it's just going to happen. The mantling is just now being added to Tarkov in some sense. They've been working on mantling for a really long time. If you look at the mantling in this trailer, if that's how it is in the game, it looks really good. It looks smooth. And the third person animations, that is when you see another character doing those mantling and those animations, look really good. They look really crisp and clean. And I like the animations quite a bit so far from what I'm seeing. So all that's to say, I really have a hard time because, you know, all we see at games in the beginning is like the good stuff, and we pick out the good things and we kind of look at that from a positive light. And I don't want to oversell this game. I've been guilty of doing that in the past, of getting too excited. So we have to stay a little bit reserved. We have to wait till we get our hands on it. I'm really hoping that we can get some sort of playtest soon, like in the next coming year or so. But I think this game, you guys can quote me and keep the receipts, I really think this game has a ton of potential. What we've seen so far, we've seen some other studios take their attempt at kind of a Tarkov-like game, but none of them have seemed this polished this early, if that makes sense. Some of those details that I picked out of the trailer, you don't see in like an indie title that's just starting out, or very many of them. That is to say, I would say Road to Vostok is one of those that would kind of challenge that statement just a little bit, but there's exceptions to every rule. But I think this game has a lot of potential, and I really want to keep my eye on it and keep up to date and keep you guys up to date with what's coming with this game, because I really think I've been, you know, kind of wondering when Unreal 5 engine is going to break away from the older consoles. It seems like a lot of AAA shooters, you know, if you talk about Battlefield and Call of Duty, studios are still making games for the last gen consoles, and I don't think we've ever seen really that Unreal Engine be able to break away and, you know, live up to its full potential in a PC environment with a little bit more hardware that can run these things. So we're gonna have to keep our eye on this title. I'm excited about it based on how it looks. We definitely need to play it before we can give any kind of opinion on it for sure. But I really like what I'm seeing. I like the receptiveness of the dev team to already listen to the community based on input from a trailer, not even from a playtest, that are already acting on that. And I really like what I'm seeing. I'm excited about this. It's really cool to see a larger studio with success in another area come across and take a stab at a giant open world shooter, looter shooter game that looks really neat. And they're pushing the immersion, and they're really, it looks like pushing Unreal Engine 5 to the limits, which is cool to see. So if you guys want to stay tuned to the channel, you will get information here, as well as if you want to wish list the game over on Steam, you'll get updates through Steam when they add new information, and also when it becomes up for a playtest and stuff like that. I'll put the wish list link down below so you guys can check it out over on Steam. Guys, if you've made it to the end of the video, I cannot thank you enough for taking the time out of your busy day to watch a video of mine. I thank you so much. It means a lot, and we'll hopefully see you later on.